So today I'm back with some more tasty vegan delights, but I'm switching it up a little bit because I usually do what I eat in a day videos. This time I thought I would expand it and give you guys a full week's worth of my meals. The good thing about it is that all of these meals that you're gonna see, they're really simple, they're easy to follow, they're not complicated at all, and a lot of them are very quick. So if you're a beginner or you're not that well versed in the kitchen, you should still be able to make all the meals that I do. But yeah, that's what we're getting into. Hope you all enjoy, and let's go ahead and jump to the video. We're starting off on Sunday, and for breakfast I had some jazzed up kind of southern style grits. I just threw them right into a small pot and I used vegetable broth instead of water, so it turns out super flavorful. Mix and let cook until it thickens up like that. And then I added in some of this vegan butter and some nutritional yeast flakes, which is going to give it a cheesy vibe. Season with a little salt and pepper. Now while the grits are cooking, I made my veggie topping. I got spinach and sliced mushrooms, added a little water to keep the pan from being dry, and I tossed that until it was all soft and tender. And then my secret weapon, Cajun seasoning. I sprinkled some of that right in, and that's basically all I had to do with the veggies. Ridiculously easy. Pile the veggies right on top of the grits, and I finished it off with a little more nutritional yeast. And look at this. I mean, do I even need to tell you how tasty this was? Really, really good. To drink, I had some water with lime, and water is my main beverage with my meals, so unless otherwise stated, this is what I'm having. When lunchtime rolled around, I really wasn't that hungry. I was just feeling a little peckerish, so I peeled a couple mandarin oranges and I used this dressing as a dip for some celery sticks. Dinner time, I had a black bean burger. This is homemade. I usually always have these on hand. I make a bunch at a time and then I store them in my freezer so I can grab one whenever I get a hankering. These are so convenient. I just pop them onto my little grill for a few minutes. And to go with the burger, I decided on carrots and broccoli. I added some salt and pepper and sauteed them in a little vegan butter. And by the time I was done with that, my burger is ready. So I topped that with some vegan mayonnaise, dill relish, and ketchup and mustard. For an after dinner snack, I had edamame, and this is another thing I like to always have a stash of. Super quick to just pop into the microwave, but what I recently discovered is that edamame tossed in this spicy sauce is like absolute heaven on earth. I am seriously addicted to it, and I eat this at least once a week. Sprinkle some toasted sesame seeds on top. Bam! Monday, I had my go-to breakfast scramble. I used extra firm tofu, the only tofu texture I get. Crumbled that up into a greased skillet, and I added some minced garlic, mushrooms, diced bell pepper, diced red onion, and fresh spinach. And I'm going to toss that until it's well mixed and the tofu starts to really firm up. Then I added some turmeric and salt and pepper. I put some sliced avocado on top because it really takes the scramble to the next level. I always love avocado on my scramble, and I served it with toasted wheat bread. Around lunchtime, I was out running errands and I knew I wasn't going to feel like making anything when I got back. So I stopped at Panera Bread and I ordered a modern Greek salad without feta cheese to make it vegan friendly. They forgot my chips and I didn't realize it until I got home. I was kind of upset about that, but anyway, I grabbed some crackers from my pantry and I didn't use their dressing. I used my vegan ranch. Dinner time, I decided to try something new. This had been sitting in my freezer for the longest time. I actually didn't buy this though. It's not something I would normally go for since I'm not a huge fan of a lot of faux meat, but I didn't want to waste it. So I just picked off all of the sausage pieces to make it more my speed. I could deal with the meatless pepperoni, but the sausage, it was just too much for me. And it actually wasn't bad. It did need a little flavor boost in my opinion, so I put some hot sauce on it and I had some steamed broccoli on the side. Gotta get my greens in. And then for snack, I wanted something fresh and light, so I cut up some pineapple and I had that. The next day I started it off with an old trusty avocado toast. It's quick, it's filling, it's perfect. So I spread my avocado onto my toasted wheat bread. Put some sliced cherry tomatoes on top, sprinkle with salt and pepper, a squeeze of fresh lime juice, then finish it off with some red chili flakes. And along with my toast, I had some of this tea, which I brewed the night before. I don't like my tea super sweet, so I added just a tiny bit of sugar to this. And then to my iced tea, I added some oat milk, and it was all extremely refreshing. Midday, we're going with buffalo cauliflower bites. I chopped up almost half a head of cauliflower into these bite-sized pieces, and I'm going to bread them. So I mixed up some all-purpose flour, garlic powder, onion powder, pepper, and water together to make a batter. Threw the cauliflower pieces in and tossed to coat. Placed it on a parchment lined sheet, and I baked it for about 35 minutes. While my cauliflower was baking, I prepared my buffalo sauce by mixing some of this with a little maple syrup to add a hint of sweetness. Put the baked cauliflower in, give it a good mix. And I'm using my trusty ranch dressing to dip my buffalo bites and celery in. And I kicked it up a notch with some red chili flakes, and lunch was awesome. Dinner was really simple. I just had some of the leftover pizza from the night before, but I wanted something sweet as well. So I decided to make a peanut butter chocolate shake to go with it. For that, I used banana, peanut butter, a little bit of coconut sugar, just a little, and some of this for chocolatey goodness. Rounded off with ice cubes and almond milk and blended until smooth. And the shake turned out to be everything I ever wanted, and it went really well with the pizza. So I was super satisfied and very full after this. So that's all I had on Tuesday. Wednesday, I busted out the oats, always a solid breakfast choice. I put some into a pot, added some water, and mixed until it thickened. Flavored the oats with some vegan butter, cinnamon, and a smidge of brown sugar. Now, once my oats were done, I sprinkled with chia seeds for a boost of extra nutrition, chopped walnuts for a nice crunchy contrast, fresh strawberries, and unsweetened coconut flakes. Now, my lunch for that day was kind of thrown together. Out of nowhere, I had a hankering for black bean soup, but since I didn't plan for it, I didn't have my usual go-to items, so I just pulled out some ingredients that I did have, and I hoped it would work. Into my pot went the black beans, pasta sauce, the cauliflower blend, leftover kale that I made for the fam the day before, blended it out with water to make it a little more soupy, seasoned with garlic powder and Cajun seasoning. And this literally took less than 5 minutes because all you have to do is heat it up. Then I put some sliced avocado on top along with a few crushed crackers. And I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised that my struggle soup actually turned out to be hella bomb. Later on in the day, I whipped up some pasta. After I had my noodles going, I went ahead and made the sauce. And for that, I used raw cashews, nutritional yeast, mustard, which gives it a nice zing, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, and some water. Then I blended that all up and poured that into the cooked noodles, which had been drained. I'm going to load that up with fresh spinach, diced red onion, and sun-dried tomatoes. So good. And as it heats, the sauce thickens up really nicely and becomes super creamy. Add in some pepper and Cajun seasoning, and dinner is done. When I make this, I always like to dust some more Cajun seasoning on top. And this to me is like the best pasta ever. I literally could eat a whole pot in one sitting if I don't watch myself. Snack of the day, I went with these chips. This was actually the first time that I tried them, and I was blown away by how good they were. Only lasted one day in my house, and I was kind of sad when I went to go get some more and they were gone. So now I know when I buy them again, I'm going to have to hide them. Thursday morning, I had a cinnamon raisin English muffin. I popped that into the toaster, then spread on some vegan butter. I also cut up some strawberries to go along with it. And then I really wanted a hot drink, so I went with my go-to tea. Added a little sugar in the raw, hot water, and I always add milk to my tea. And this go round, I'm using oat milk. For lunch today, I kept it really light and uncomplicated. I wanted to eat this hummus I picked up, so I used that as a dip for some crackers and fresh veggies. Honestly though, I had higher hopes for it. The hummus was just okay. Probably not something I would buy again. And then for dinner, I made one of my go-to meals, which you guys have seen me make before. I'm using my favorite spicy sauce. I drizzled that over cubed extra firm tofu, toss it, and then put that onto a baking sheet to go in the oven for about 20 minutes. Then I had some fresh broccoli, which I tossed in olive oil. After the 20 minutes, add the broccoli to that same baking sheet, which goes back into the oven for another 15 minutes or so. And while that's going, I made my rice. I have a boil in a bag, easy peasy. Toss the finished broccoli and tofu with more spicy sauce. Plate it up with the rice and a sprinkle of sesame seeds. And this dish is so easy to make, but it has so much flavor. I can't tell you guys enough how much I absolutely love this combination. Later on in the day, a little before bed snack, I had some salsa and tortilla chips. This is another thing that never lasts long in my house. Friday, I'm having oatmeal again, such a great fallback and really filling. I pretty much started out the same way every time and then just switch up the toppings. Today I'm just sprinkling on more cinnamon, some strawberries, and chia seeds. And then my lunch is something I'm really excited to show you guys. I'm having this crazy delicious cauliflower sandwich. So for the breading, I used whole wheat flour, and I only used this because I ran out of all-purpose, but the end result turned out to be a smash, so I'll definitely use it again. I added onion powder, garlic powder, pepper, water, and hot sauce. Then I placed my cauliflower steak in to get it fully coated in that batter. And by the way, I really didn't mean to cut this piece so thick. That's just how it happened. So my sandwich ended up kind of looking like a Mondo sandwich. But anyway, I stuck that into the oven until it was crispy on both sides. And then I mixed together some vegan mayonnaise and more hot sauce. And I'm going to use that to coat my crispy cauliflower. That went back in the oven for another minute or two, and then I put it on my bun. I got some sliced avocado on there, some dill relish. Then along with that, I had some sauteed green beans. And man, oh man, when I tell you this sandwich was divine, I'm not even exaggerating. You can see even the dog wanted a piece. I had to be on guard when I ate this. Veggie plate was on the menu for dinner. I started it off by preparing my Hasselback potatoes. And a little tip, if you place chopsticks on both sides of the potato, you get perfect cuts that don't go all the way through. Next, I poured on some olive oil and massaged it in. Sprinkle on salt and pepper and bake for about an hour until it's golden and crispy like this. I also had some baby carrots, which I sauteed in vegan butter until they started to brown and soften. Salt and pepper for them, as well as a drizzle of maple syrup, which just makes them taste out of this world. Veggie plate is done. I added some steamed broccoli and corn on the cob, and it was all super delicious. Which brings us to Saturday. I decided to go with a protein smoothie. I used some of this frozen fruit blend, half a banana, my favorite Super Greens protein powder, and some coconut and mango water. Didn't quite come out looking very appealing, but it did taste really good. Lunchtime, I was in the mood for a scramble, so that's exactly what I made. I got my tofu, spinach, red pepper, and onion seasoned with turmeric, salt, and pepper. And along with that, I had half of a cinnamon raisin English muffin. For my last meal of the day, I cracked open another of my black bean burgers. This time I used vegan mayo, barbecue sauce, and dill relish on it. So tasty. I also had a steam bag of Brussels sprouts, which I tossed with salt, pepper, and mustard. Absolutely love mustard on my Brussels sprouts. If you haven't tried it, definitely do. Red chili flakes for a kick, and ta-da! Super fast and filling dinner. A little while after dinner, we had movie night, so I popped some popcorn in my air popper. I love this little thing. It gets so much use. And with my popcorn, I like to first mist it with olive oil, then add some salt and nutritional yeast. Give it a nice shake and then do it again so all the popcorn is covered in flavor and it comes out amazing. So yeah guys, that was it. All my vegan meals for the week. I hope this video was helpful. You guys let me know if you want to see more videos like this or if you have any other video requests or suggestions. Leave them down in the comment section. Thanks guys for watching as always, and I'll catch up with you soon on my next video. Peace.